Hi, everyone. The day 5 to 8 of our 21-day sugar investigation, which happened way back, but we are revisiting, we are bringing our memory of what we did then here. Joining us today is the one I did the 21-day sugar investigation with, Mr. Leon Perry. Leon, are you ready? All right. First, let me have a look at the different kinds of sugar that you can see. You see, this one here is Steen's 100% pure cane syrup. They claim that they're 100%. They just boil the juice, the sugar cane juice. By the way, sugar cane is a plant. And the sugar cane juice, when you boil it, and it becomes concentrated like this. So it's not refined at all. Let's look at this one here. This is 0 calorie-free sweetener. And this is erythritol. If you look at the back, it's erythritol. It says sugar, 4 grams. 4 grams of sugar. Okay. Let me see. This one here is 100% pure maple syrup. As you can see, this is 100% pure. It comes from the sap of the maple tree. And if you look at the back, there's 50 grams of sugar per serving, which is 1 cup. 50 grams, 1 cup, okay? Let me see if I have something. This is yacon syrup. This is about 9 grams per 2 teaspoons. So it depends on the portion. If you increase the portion, you will increase the amount of sugar in it. Sugar is a substance that makes our food sweet. But usually, you see, sugar is being used for desserts, and almost all of the Filipino dishes have sugar, and not just sweets, but we have rice cakes, and we put a little bit of sugar to balance the taste up. So it's all about taste, food, but food is not really all about taste according to the dictionary. Food is a substance that gives the body nutrition, and the relationship between that food and the body, they all come from the earth, you see. So they're equal in one, really. The question is, how do we use sugar to support us? Well, before we go there, which is a long process because we have to walk this 21-day experience with you first, so that you will have perspective on how we are going to solve this confusion in the media, in the normal media. What is the confusion about? It is, hi Leon,
Hi.
would you like to start your day 5, or you need a little bit more time?
So day five, I had three.
I can barely see you, Leon.
Day five, I had three categories. Um, well, in other words, I split day five up into three. The first part was 5A, and basically I was at the grocery store, and what happened was that I bought some sushi rolls. Now, when I bought the sushi rolls, um, there was kind of a resistance to eat it because what I was doing was I was eating the sushi roll without the condiments. So there's a condiment that comes with sushi roll on the side, and I was going to eat it without the condiment. And what occurred in my mind were particular thoughts about eating a sushi roll without the condiment, seeing it as boring and stuff like that. But really, again, the taste of it was still palatable, still delightful, because I experienced the taste of natural taste of the vegetables. Natural, quote unquote. The natural taste of the vegetables without the condiments. And, it was a new experience for me.
Okay, when you eat this sushi roll or nori roll, they serve it with soy sauce with a little bit of wasabi.
Well, this one was like a peanut butter sauce.
Oh, okay. So that's like peanut sauce. Did you eat it with the peanut sauce, or you?
Normally I do, but this time I wanted to experiment and not eat it with peanut sauce.
And it's still okay, isn't it?
It was still okay.
Yeah. So I actually tested eating salad, like the spring mix, plus a little bit of shredded carrots and shredded beets and other fresh vegetables in the salad section in Whole Foods here in the US. And I I'm amazed that these vegetables that I thought didn't have taste have subtle tastes, and I was able to taste that. This started when a long time ago I saw this office mate of mine who is Chinese, and during our break, he would eat on the plastic bag where this spring mix is contained. So I saw him and I said, "Are you eating that without a dressing?" And he said, "Yeah, it's actually tastes good." And so you can actually eat it like that. But it wasn't years and years later that I was presented with this particular situation where I really have to test this out for myself, because I'm looking at food and the different ways of preparing food, adding sugar, adding salt, different amounts. Wait, hang on a minute. What if I just remove this salt and this sugar? How would it taste like? And that is really cool because I was able to strip off the makeup, for example. In humans, we use makeup to sort of cover up. And so here is the actual plant or the actual animal. So, what's my fifth day like? By the way, the first to the fourth day experiences that we had is in our video. The video links are located at the bottom of this video. Fear of eating raw chocolates with coffee beans. I bought this raw chocolate with coffee beans that's sticking out, you know, like half of a coffee bean, and then other pieces of it scattered in one part of that bar. This is a raw chocolate, meaning the powdered chocolate that was used to make this chocolate bar hasn't been heated. And the sweetener that they used is not I mean, they added just a little bit, so it's not really sweet. Just like it's bittersweet. You can taste the bitterness of the coffee bean and the bitterness of the chocolate. And I'm not a coffee drinker, so I I was like, okay, how come I cannot eat so much of this? So what I did is I put it in my bag, and it took me a while, maybe a month before I finish it. So with, within this experience of having this chocolate bar in my hand, I was reacting to it. I was eating and I was saying, well, hang on a minute, this doesn't taste like chocolate. So immediately I compared it to the normal chocolates like Kit Kat and Cadbury and all these other chocolates that I tasted before that has a lot of sugar in it. That, of course, is not bitter. It's a tiny hint of bitterness there, but not pronounced. So uh, I looked at it. I said, what's wrong with not having too much sugar there? It's supposed to be giving us nutrition anyway. And I looked at the chocolate. Oh, there's magnesium in chocolate. Why am I reacting to the taste? You see? So I said, well, there is a reaction here. There is something that I can direct. So what I did is I used the tools that we normally use to deal with whatever I am experiencing. Because if I let this pass, this little thing, this little reaction, throughout the day, I will have different reactions to different things, different people, different food items. Either positive when you say, "Ah, so delicious, so tasty," you see, and then you say, "Oh no, it doesn't have taste." So these judgments will create some stress within me. I call it resonant stress because it's, and sometimes you don't even know you have these things unless it aggravates, and then it becomes, your body becomes so stressed that you get sick, and then you try to medicate and cover this up, so you really cannot see the mind within that. Um, but this is a reaction. Sometimes what we do is we say, well, I ate that chocolate. Maybe it's the chocolate that did this. Oh, my head is aching right now. That must be the chocolate I ate. Wait, hang on a minute. You didn't look at the reactions you had during the day, which is a mind reaction to a physical substance or to a physical food item. So we are talking about holistic health here because as we look at the body, we can't help but look at the mind. So we have to also address these reactions. All right, so that is my fifth day. What is your sixth day, Leon?
6 day, basically, I got bought a Quest bar, and I was happy with the Quest bar because it was low in carb content. I asked myself, why is it that I'm happy that the bar has low carb content? One reason is because of the effect that high carbohydrate foods have on the body. In relation to the research that I've done on high carb foods like white bread and stuff like that. But it's really also how high carb content foods are intake. According to what I researched, if the particular food is high in fiber, then it is deemed better for you than foods that are high in carbs and do not have high fiber content, which is also carb. But the point here that I'm trying to make is that I bought this protein bar. It was high in carbs, low in carbs and high in fiber. And it made me happy. And I asked myself, why am I happy? It's really because, one, I like the taste of it. And two, it stems around not being able to find a candy bar that's low in carbs. So this happiness was sort of a reaction because in the sense that not really it was a reaction from the sense that I'm trying to find a way to explain this. Basically comes from looking for foods that are low in carbs, and not really creating my own source of food for myself, like cooking and stuff like that. I always looking for something out there that is nutritionally balanced. That's the best I can explain it here. But that was my day 6.
Do you think that the media, the normal media, kind of convinced you of what a carbohydrate is about when you hear people in the media saying something about carbohydrates and how bad they are? Do you think you got influenced by that, or was it just something that you looked at?
That may be the case. But these studies here, it's not something that is in the forefront of the media. It takes a little bit of research to really understand carbohydrates. So, I mean, it could be, but again, I guess it's based on your one, your own judgment, and two, cross-referencing information with other data inputs about it.
There are also different requirements, like your daily recommended intake of the amount of carbohydrates that you eat. So that would be something that we have to look at later on during one of our hangouts. What are the systems that are in place that is keeping the food industry in its own grid, where there are certain beliefs that they should be like this? You should eat more vegetables and fruits, and a, a lot less of um, red meat, for example. Or some people would say, eat more meat and less vegetables and fruits. Some would say, oh, eat only fruits, like the fruitarians. So in all this confusion, we are left to ourselves to decide what food are we going to eat, and left without information about it that we can hold on to. We just pick whatever beliefs that we hear from the media, and whoever the celebrity we fancy. So it is not really us deciding within awareness. Sometimes we also say, oh, my body likes to eat this. How did you find that out, Ida? That's my question. So we have to really be aware of what we're saying, and how come we reached that conclusion. Did we really investigate that ourselves, or was it partly from the media and from the research that's being done? Another point that I would like to bring out here is that research is normally done with groups of people. If we have different kinds of DNA or unique DNA makeups, how would that particular finding be appropriate for us? Or how would that be something that we can take and say, hey, because they surveyed, for example, Asian, that they need this kind of food and they need this kind of nutrients. So I'm Asian, so I have to follow this regimen because according to the study, so we have to open up this study. What is this about? That's why I did my own study, so that then when a study is being presented to me, I have a point of reference. All right, so day 6, fear of eating lamb. So we were eating, and I tasted this smoked lamb. What I first noticed was the smell. It doesn't smell like pork or beef. So immediately I associated it with those kind of meat and their tastes. I am now comparing two different things, two different food items, three different food items, and that those food items are not here in front of me, really. to look at their texture, to smell them. I have a memory of them in my mind, and I did it in my mind. So most of the comparing that we're doing is done in our mind. So that then the mind chatter is increasing. It's just like you're chatting with three different people in Facebook. And of course, it requires a lot of energy. So where does the mind get that energy? From the body. So eventually the body is compromised. So we have to make peace with our body and release our judgments and beliefs so that the mind chatter will lessen, and the mind will not take a lot of energy from the body for it to survive. So, but I want to mention this because I was talking about chocolates and coffee beans before. I would like to say and correct this, that coffee is not just a beverage consisting of infused coffee beans. It's part of it's part of life. It's here with us. So we have we have to realize that when we throw coffee to the sink, or when we say no, coffee is bad for you, we are in fact judging a, a plant, the coffee plant. Do you see? So in this holistic looking, we are also looking at our relationship with plants and animals that we eat, because they are here to give nutrition to our body. Plants, as well as animals, feel pain when they get killed. It's not just animals. The reason why we can't hear the scream of plants is because we are trained to only hear certain frequencies, because the mind is busy in this chatter. It cannot hear other frequencies. So this lamb, let's talk about lamb. Lamb is the flesh of young domestic sheep. But it's not just that, it's also part of this life. It's a sheep is an animal, and it is part of this one life that we're living. So we better equalize our relationship with the plants and the animals that give us nutrition, give our body nutrition to survive. So, what is smell? Because I had a reaction with the smell. It is in my mind that I'm reacting because I was comparing in my mind. But really, smell is a sensation that results when olfactory receptors in the nose are stimulated by particular chemicals in gaseous form, where sensation is attached to memories and different experiences that we have in the past. So if we are going to give it a meaning that is fair, we will have, or expanded meaning, we will say that the sensation is not attached to beliefs, judgments, and memories from past experiences, but rather a physical sensation. Smell is a physical sensation. Okay, we're ready for day 7, Leon.
All right, day 7, really the same as day 6. Day 7, I delve more into the spirit of happiness with this quest protein bar. The reason I was so happy was because it was something that was tasteful and also low in carbs. You don't normally find candy bars that are tasteful and also low in carbs. They usually have high carbs. And so basically, it's a happiness experience that I was really focused on day 7. And also, happiness it can become like a drug. If that is the primary point that is looked for within the particular food items that we are eating, so then we're not able to see, understand all the content that is found within foods other than taste that is necessary for the physical body.
All right. So my day 7 is fear of not eating at certain time of the day. I was in a hurry and I found myself saying, I gotta eat. Where is food? All right. What am I gonna eat? I can sense that there's this fear of being hungry, which is happening during either breakfast, lunchtime, and dinner. I want to question though, why we have this certain feeling of hunger during these times of the day. Was it because it became a habit already? Well, are we aware that this is a habit? So I also looked at what is hunger? How do I feel when I'm really hungry? Is it really hunger or is this a habit that I develop? That I eat during lunch, which is 12 noon, eat during breakfast, which is about 7 a.m. or 6 a.m., and then dinner at 6 p.m. So I looked at fear of being hungry. Why do I fear being hungry? And I related it to a social phenomenon because in the Philippines where I grew up, there's a lot of poor people that doesn't eat. You see? So eating itself has to be investigated. When we eat has to be investigated. What is hunger? That has to be investigated. Because if we don't question these things, we will just be, all right, like a doll, okay, eat at this time. And you say, okay, according to my programming, let me eat at this time, you see. So wait, hang on a minute. But then, what if we question that? What if we question that? Then we can, like a rubber band, snap out of that programming, snap and set ourselves free from that limited program and expand in a way where we can embrace all these animals and plants that we use for food and say, hey, thank you for being here and giving nutrition to my body so that I, as the breath, can express myself here. Now I can see. And I'm sorry that I just tossed you around and I enslaved you, Why not? Why just talk about normal stuff like, oh, I want to eat this, I don't want to eat that? Why don't we expand our vocabulary to include the plants and animals? So the fear of not eating, yeah, that was what I was facing during day 7. And at the end of this series, we would point you to solutions that work. I will point you to solution that work for me. And you will be you will be given I mean data about what I walk, not so that you can imitate me, but rather so that you can do your own investigation. Because education is like that. Education as it exists now is giving you information and knowledge coming from someone else. But how could you create if information is limited like that? So I would also look at receiving information from someone and then investigating it, or investigating things and then looking at information to cross reference. That's okay. So day 8, Leon, we're on day 8.
Yeah, I with the Quest bar, I associated it to the element gold because again, you don't normally find a candy bar that is low in carbs. And the Quest bar is really not a candy bar, but it is a protein bar. But it does taste like candy from the perspective of a candy bar. I associate it with gold. I realized how I place a high value on gold. And gold itself, I see it as an element that is rare. I do not know that to be a fact, but I associate it as an element that is high in value and is rare. And thus associated the Quest bar as being rare because of its low carb content. Now, I realized when I was writing this blog, and what motivated me to write it was the fact that gold itself is an element. It is made out of matter, the same substance that I am also made out of. So really, I'm placing something of high value that's intrinsically the same as me when it comes to gold being matter also. So looking at it from that perspective, I can begin kind of flatten that value when it comes to looking at gold from the perspective of it being and made from the same substance that I am also made out of, which is matter. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and drop off. That is my 4 blogs that I have for today.
See you, Leon.
All right.
Day 8 is when I ate bibimbap in a Korean restaurant. It's composed of different kinds of vegetables set around the center, a center that is where the rice is, and then a sauce, a bibimbap sauce, which is made out of red pepper, and it's not too spicy, but sweet, spicy, and salty at the same time. I was eating, and then when I was full, I'm feeling like, okay, I'm full, but it's uncomfortable. So, fear of getting full because it feels comfortable. Again, instead of just eating and enjoying the texture and the smell of food, and the taste of it. I was like judging the bibimbap as heavy, or the rice in it. You see, that made me full. But really, have a look at it. How many times do we do this? How can you relate to everything we shared with you here? Because I can see myself and my mom and everyone in the family say this all the time. Oh, I'm too full. It's the rice. It's not the rice, because look, you selected the portion of the rice that you will eat. So uh, instead of blaming the rice, let's be in gratitude that the rice is here. Let's let's be grateful for the rice to be here, and to give the body nutrition when it needs it. The amount of rice is up to us, really. And the amount of carbohydrates vary according to the amount we eat. So we are responsible. We are the ones ingesting food. That's what I realized. So I look at the word full. When do I feel full? What is fullness? So I saw this, that there is such a thing as a mind feeling of fullness, where you know you are thinking, oh, this feeling is a feeling that I have when I feel heavy, when I eat something heavy, and now I feel uncomfortable. Rather than look at the full the word fullness from a point of nutrition, which is, did I have enough? Did I eat enough? Did I take enough nutrition from the food I eat that gives my body optimal nutrition today? You see, and then I am grateful for the food, the plants and animals that is in my food today. So that's my day 8, and we will end the hangout today with that. I would like to invite you to view the series of hangouts that we are going to have until the 21 day is over. There are a lot of things we want to share with you, and there are solutions that we want you to download if you are really needing some information. And also, if you need health coaching, I can also be reached for health coaching. I do it one-on-one, and tailor it to the individual preference of the person I'm doing it with. I also cross-reference with my process, because as I see clients who need coaching, I am also responsible for coaching myself first, because how can I coach others if I cannot even coach myself, to find out what food is about, to harmonize, equalize my relationship with different food items that I eat. And we have ebooks. There is a link that I can give you right now, junroca.selz.com, selz.com. Junroca is JUNEROCA .selz.com. And there you can find different ebooks that you can buy. There are free stuff there. And also my website, www.junroca.com. We have different websites also involving raw food websites, vegetarian websites, cooked vegetarian website, cooked vegan websites, and cooked international cuisine website, which showcase meat. So I embraced all the different diets because I can see that when I embrace them, I am actually embracing plants and animals that is being served. In our plate, we have vegan, vegetarian, and meat items if we're eating meat. In a vegetarian plate, there are a variety of food items that is in your plate. But that doesn't mean that it is better than eating food that has meat in it. Nor is it right to say that meat is better than plants, because plants and animals gets killed daily for food. Plants also move as their roots move to find nutrition in the soil. Their leaves move also, you see. So they move. They move just like animals. Well, see, we're not aware that this is going on because we're like talking and talking and talking. And then the television talks to us like this. So we're constantly like figuring things out in our minds. I would suggest release. We will teach you more about releasing, how to release judgments and justifications and beliefs in these tools that we have for you. And we have tools that that cater to every individual's need. This is really tools. These are tools that worked for me. And I will only recommend tools that work for me. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.